Hey, Red here. Today, I'm going to be doing the first entry in a new series about, you guessed it, you read the title, you cheeky bastard, comic book gimmicks. In this series, I'll be looking into various weird, funny, or just plain interesting gimmicks from the comic book world. So, let's get into it.
Quiet Red Media. Shh.
This time around, the gimmick we're looking at is the 1977 Marvel book titled A Marvel Comics Super Special, Kiss. Now, you might be like, what? A comic from the 70s, really? Yes! Let me explain. In 1977, Marvel started doing a series of one-shot magazine-formatted comics called Marvel Comics Super Special. They ran up until 1986 or so, but the very first of these was none other than the topic at hand. This issue was a 40-page one-shot written by Steve Gerber, with art by a collection of artists, including names like Sal Buscema, John Buscema, Alan Weiss, and Rich Buckler. The story was a fairly routine 4-chapter 1970s affair involving Jean, Paul, Ace, and Peter finding a magical box that turns them into their supernatural counterparts. Turns out the box actually belonged to Dr. Doom, and the guys have to deal with the, quote, metal-masked monarch of Latveria himself. Though not much really happens, they meet Doom, but he throws some Finbots their way and escapes. And then the Kiss guys fuck off into space. That's pretty much it for the first chapter. There's a tacked on bit at the end where some other Marvel heroes are talking about the mysterious strangers and blah 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 blah. The following chapters have Kiss being yoinked from space by Mephisto, then zapped to a space disco, then to Latveria where they fight some Doombots and then Doom himself. It all kind of wraps up with an anticlimactic non-battle and Doom zaps them away again. There's not much to say about the story itself, really. But we're not here for the story. We're here for the gimmick. So, let's get into the good stuff. You see, this issue was made notorious by the marketing gimmick they used to sell the book, which was that the blood of all 4 members of Kiss was actually in the ink of the issue. It was inked in blood. Apparently, the members each had their blood drawn at a concert stop in Nassau Coliseum by a registered nurse, mind you, with a notary there to legitimize the whole thing, and it was mixed in with the ink at one of Marvel's printing facilities. The 4 of them were flown in and taken to the Borden ink plant in Depew, New York, where they personally poured their vials of blood into the red ink, complete with media fanfare, of course. Kinda gross, Marvel. Really? Ugh. They actually made the notarized documents available to the public, and they were very transparent about the whole thing, you see. Didn't want people to think they weren't getting blood in their comic. If that's not a gimmick, I don't know what is. Mixing bodily fluids into the product is, well, gimmicky as all hell. But it worked, as the issue sold around 500,000 copies, being Marvel's best-selling issue until it was unseated by old Spidey in 1990. An interesting side note, apparently there's a rumor that the ink that contained the blood was accidentally used for a print run of the Sports Illustrated around that time instead, which is hilarious and off-putting. Either way, the comic can actually still fetch a decent price as a collector's item, gross as it may be. So there you go, a little story about a weird gimmick. I knew that I'd no doubt touch on something to do with the marketing geniuses that are Kiss, and I'm not disappointed. So there you go. What a gimmick, huh? Right here. I just wanted to remind all you good folks to check out our website. There you can find free comics and writings from moi. And if you dig it, consider signing up for the email list. I promise I don't spam, and once I've got a respectable number of signups, I'll be moving forward with the graphic novel. You can check out more info about that on the site too. Links in the description. Peace.